What's up, everybody? This is Dave with the Bass Channel. Today we're checking out the Dusk from Dr. Scientist. Not Mr. Scientist, Dr. Scientist.
I didn't spend 6 years in evil medical school to be called Mr. Thank you very much.
So what is the Dusk, you may ask? Well, at its heart, it's basically an envelope filter, but it's got so many features and so many modes, you could keep finding new ways to use the Dusk till dawn. It's only got 3 knobs. It's got 2 buttons. It's got 2 foot switches. And still, this is one of the most complex pedals out there. And why? Well, it's because of all of the different brains they've got shoved in here. It's got MIDI. It's got different modes of operation. It's got different functions for the buttons depending on what mode you're in. So, without further ado, let's just hear some more sounds out of the thing first. I'm going to shove this pedal right into the camera to show you all of what it's got going on. Okay, yeah, you're in and out in power on top, and it's a pretty compact pedal. Good so far. You've got an expression pedal jack input on this side. You've got a MIDI jack on this side. Your bypass switch is this one. Your multi-switch is this one, and that gets into the additional features per mode. The knobs across the top are filter, resonance, and volume, which seem to be fairly self-explanatory. Where the interesting, fun stuff comes in is in the 2 buttons underneath the knobs. What that does is the left button will change the mode of operation. You've got an envelope filter setting, you've got an LFO setting, and you've got a setting called cut, which basically turns the pedal into a static filter, like a notch filter. Then on the right side, the button does a couple of different things. If you're in the LFO mode, the right-hand button cycles through 6 different LFO waveforms. And it's got additional functionality for the cut and envelope modes as well that aren't quite obvious. We'll have to dig into the manual for those. Okay, we're digging into the manual to get some of this detail to you. So if I look down and staring at the paper here, that's why. Basically, in each mode, you've got 2 additional secondary actions that can be taken. Number 1 is with the right-hand push button, and number 2 is with the left side foot switch. So we'll start with the top mode called cut. That is the mode where it's a static notch filter, where you choose your frequency with the filter knob. But when you're in that mode, the right-hand push button changes the manual filter sweep speed from slow to medium to fast. Manual filter sweep, in this case, is activated by the left side foot switch, the multi-foot switch. So those 2 things work in tandem.
Which is Canadian for both at the same time.
When you're in the cut mode, the left side foot switch activates a filter sweep. The speed of that filter sweep is controlled by the right hand push button. When you're in envelope mode, the right-hand push button changes the direction of the envelope sweep up to down. So that's like a normal envelope direction switch on most envelope filters. Now, what does the left foot switch do in envelope mode? Well, that freezes the filter where it is. So if you hit a note and it starts to sweep, you can stomp on that left foot switch to freeze it in place. That's already pretty complicated. Now let's get into LFO mode. When the left side mode is on LFO, the right hand push button, as I mentioned before, cycles through 6 different waveforms. Those waveforms are sine wave, ramp, saw wave, square wave, sample and hold, and random. When you're in LFO mode, what does the left foot switch do? Well, it does 2 things actually. Number 1, you can use it as a tap tempo by tapping on it a few times. And number 2, once you have a tempo set, you can actually hold that foot switch to ramp down, to slow it down. There's possibly even more. I talked about the right-hand foot switch being the bypass switch. Well, it's not only the bypass switch, but you can store 4 different preset sounds in this pedal. And if you hold the bypass switch, it will cycle between them. So that is my attempt at a very quick and dirty explanation of just what the switches and buttons on the front do. We haven't even gotten into any of the MIDI capabilities, which is, well, quite honestly, beyond our typical realm of exploration as it is. But just suffice it to know, you can send controller messages through MIDI to this pedal to change a bunch of features. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here about the Dusk. It's a pretty interesting pedal with lots of cool sounds in it and way more features than we could possibly have attacked in this brief video. But let us know what you thought of it in the comments below. Like and subscribe, check out some merch in our Teespring store, and I'll catch you next time. This is Dave with the Bass Channel. Yeah, I don't know who Dr. Scientist is, but, you know, he's a doctor after all, so...
So we're checking out this
he's got a
pedal from-
PhD in pedalology. This
Okay.
pedal just dawned on us. Dusk. Better, less descriptive titles and thumbnails.
Yeah.
And that's the key, I guess. It's just, we want people to go, what the fuck is that? It's just me. There's your thumbnail right there.